Welcome to Flight Path, an inside look at Harry Reid International Airport and the airports of Clark County. These are exciting times for Las Vegas as our community prepares to host its first Formula One race in November, followed by the Super Bowl early next year. In this episode, we'll see how our airports are getting ready to welcome an influx of visitors for these events. We'll also check out some shops and restaurants at LAS, pay a visit to one of our sister airports in Jean, and answer the burning question, what happened to Terminal 2? The stakes have never been higher as the sports and entertainment capital of the world gets ready to host two upcoming mega events. Formula One speeds into town in November for a race that will weave through the heart of the Strip. And in February, Allegiant Stadium and our city will host the Super Bowl for the first time. Many of the visitors coming for these events will arrive by air, and our airports are buzzing with excitement as we prepare to welcome them.
You know, one thing about these large events, more people attend them, arrive by air than driving. So this is a little bit of a different formula of what we are going to feel compared to our usual tourism. And that gives us an opportunity to really up our game of how excited that we are to be part of that experience and work closely with all the partners that are involved in it.
To help with planning for special events and the challenges they will bring, LAS staff have been able to learn from airports in other cities that have hosted these events.
We've been able to do a lot of learning from them and use them as a benchmark for how we're going to do our planning operations here.
Based on past busy weekends packed with music festivals, Raiders home games, conventions, and more, the airport leadership anticipates an influx of private business jets during both Formula One and the Super Bowl. That means general aviation airports will be crucial to seamless operations.
So one factor that we know is going to happen is that we will have more GA operations, private operations, than any other type of event that we've ever had. And with our reliever airports, so Henderson and North Las Vegas, making them attractive to operate out of there instead of coming to Harry Reid Airport, where our commercial activity will also be going on at the same time. Henderson, we just enlarged the ramp there, and we're doing the same thing here at Harry Reid. So we will be able to accommodate more GA than we currently have. But more than anything, what we're trying to do is balance the peak of these operations.
With a cargo operation unlike any LAS has seen before, Formula One will pose its own unique challenge.
Formula One cargo operation is something that's very unique to us. We've never had this type of operation here. It's going to require us to segment a very large piece of our real estate during normal operation hours just for this ongoing cargo operation to get not only all the vehicles, the cargo 18-wheelers in and out of the airport.
Back in the terminals, quality assurance is top of mind, with staff on the lookout for areas that need attention.
We're doing some facelifts, if you will, and improving the terminal, improving the amenities, the food and beverage, the selection, the variety. We are trying to cater to really the world that's going to be coming through this airport that we haven't had in the past.
We have increased our terminal operations inspections from a monthly to a weekly schedule. And have involved the airport service coordinators as well as the passenger service representatives. They'll be walking around the terminals looking for signage that needs to be updated, bringing up items that require repair. They'll also be looking at the tenant hours and make sure that they're up to date as well.
With the airport as busy as it's ever been and only getting busier, custodians are key to making sure the terminal shines.
Based on the information that we get from the quality assurance program, monitor and ensure that all areas of the airport is shiny and ready for the passengers to come through.
Coordination among airport partners will play a big part in keeping the lines moving at peak travel times.
We're trialing out some of the queuing areas so that we can accommodate a high volume of passengers with the limited space that we have.
And none of it would be possible without a dedicated team of employees. The days surrounding both Formula One and the Super Bowl will require an all-hands-on-deck approach. It's also important to fill open positions and train new employees.
We are staffing up, ramping up, trying to make sure we have coverage for the influx of the passenger volumes that we are anticipating.
There will be a robust volunteer program with workers on the front line helping travelers navigate the busy airport.
The volunteers will be placed in different areas, pre and post security, that will assist with passengers coming in, looking for directions, going out of the airport, going to the city, as well as on the departure side, when they fly out, we will assist them with getting them to their gates.
We are also working with the NFL host committee's volunteer program. We'll be giving them the additional information that's up to date so that they can also help passengers when their volunteers are here.
With careful planning, flexibility, and teamwork, the Department of Aviation will be ready to welcome the world to Las Vegas. Whether it's during a big event weekend like CES or the bustling holiday travel season, the airport has always been an exciting place to work. As Las Vegas evolves, working at LAS is even more exciting than ever.
Especially now as we evolve into the sports capital of the world. We're recruiting, we're looking for talented people, and we want those that want to elevate our customers' experience.
To help us serve the traveling public, the Department of Aviation is looking for talented people to join the team. Careers range from entry-level to technical to leadership positions. To learn more about the benefits of working at LAS and its sister airports, and to apply for open positions, visit harryreidairport.com/careers.
Did you know that Clark County Department of Aviation owns and operates 5 airports, each with its own function? One of the lesser-known airports is Jeansport Aviation Center.
The county purchased this airport to have a location that we could put gliders and skydiving operators, and in fact we have 2 skydiving operators that operate out of here today, as well as a glider club across the runways.
Located just 20 miles south of Las Vegas in Jean, Nevada, the airport began as a dirt landing strip. It was updated to 2 asphalt runways in 1996. The airport is an ideal location for recreational aviation. It allows the skydiving and glider businesses that are based there to operate away from the congestion of commercial and business aviation aircraft.
It's got a beautiful runway, nice and long, which means we can get big aircraft off the airfield. We get to land close proximity to the building here, and we have plenty of space to do our operations.
The airport also supports vital community services, such as this summer's mission to combat the York Fire in the Mojave National Preserve. There are a lot of improvements happening at Jean. The terminal and restrooms were recently remodeled. The parking lot is up next for renovation and airfield improvements, including runway rehabilitation, and airfield lighting and marking upgrades are also in the works.
So historically, Jean Airport has served mainly to house the glider operation and the 2 skydiving operations that we have here, but with the events increasing in size and frequency in the Las Vegas Valley, it's now being used for overflow for Henderson and North Las Vegas airports as well, and we anticipate that Jean will be a big contributor to our ability to house those aircraft that are coming in for events such as F1 and the Super Bowl coming up.
If you love local flavor, you'll love this tour of Made in Vegas favorites you'll find both in the terminals at LAS and around the community. Now that we've seen how travelers can enjoy a little local flavor at LAS, here's a look at what's new in airport shops and restaurants. The Atrium offers a curated assortment of brands in one convenient location. Shoppers will find Sunglass Hut, Brookstone, Build-A-Bear, and UFC, among others. There's a unique mix of local souvenirs, apparel, gifts, and chocolates to choose from, and a variety of checkout options, including self-checkout. Atrium has 2 locations on Level 2 in the D gates. Chiroport has expanded its presence at LAS, adding a second location near Gate B17. Services include trigger point massage, stretching, and adjustment. The original Chiroport is near Gate C24. For travelers with a sweet tooth, there are now 2 Daisy Cakes vending machines at LAS. Get their made-from-scratch cake in a jar in Terminal 1 baggage claim and near Gate E3 at Terminal 3. Daisy Cakes is a local, women-owned business which began shipping their cakes nationwide in 2009 after an appearance on Shark Tank. Looking forward, travelers can expect newcomer Espresso Urbano by Samba Latte in Terminal 3. In addition to coffee and tea, this local brand will offer sandwiches, scones, and pastries. Back in Terminal 1, travelers will shop with ease at Hudson Nonstop. Hudson Nonstop uses Amazon's Just Walk Out technology. Customers scan their credit card to enter the store, pick up their travel essentials, then exit, all without stopping to pay in store. A second Hudson Nonstop is planned for the D concourse.
All around Harry Reid International Airport, you see signs for Terminal 1 and Terminal 3, but have you ever wondered what happened to Terminal 2? In the late 1970s, Pacific Southwest and American Airlines each built small terminals at LAS. The buildings were later remodeled into a single structure known as the International Arrivals Building. In 1991, that building was renovated and renamed the Charter International Terminal, which was later renamed Terminal 2. The compact terminal had great views of the Las Vegas Strip, played host to celebrities, and in 2000, Sir Richard Branson, dressed as Elvis, arrived there on Virgin Atlantic's first ever nonstop flight from London to Las Vegas. Time took its toll on the building, and with international passenger numbers booming, LAS outgrew Terminal 2. The last flights there arrived on June 27, 2012, the same day Terminal 3 opened. The building was demolished in 2016. Today, the space has new purpose with an employee parking lot, aircraft parking, and an airline maintenance facility.
We know Las Vegas is a popular destination, and with new airlines joining the lineup at LAS, things are really heating up. Northern Pacific Airways began flights between Ontario, California, and Las Vegas in July. The service is offered on Fridays and Sundays. Adding to the international flavor at LAS, Avianca started seasonal service from San Salvador, El Salvador on July 15th.
This new service provides additional opportunities to connect Central and South America to bring more of the world to Las Vegas.
Avianca's flights operate on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays.
The international traffic is tremendously important for our community. International travelers tend to stay longer, they tend to spend more.
Looking ahead at some news from across the pond, Virgin Atlantic announced it will once again fly nonstop to Las Vegas from Manchester. The airline plans to operate 3 flights per week between the two cities beginning next summer.
So this is an annual event that we have for the kids in the community. We always have selected the summer program of the Boys and Girls Club. We host 60 to 70 kids in a competition type of atmosphere event to introduce them to the wonderful world of aviation.
I'm gonna win the competition, gonna smoke everybody.
This is my favorite event of the year. My heart literally just overflows with such gratitude to all of our partners here and what they do for the kids.
Community relations is something that we're trying to tap into more, and something like this was a great opportunity for us.
We start with wonderful partners with HMS Host and a great lunch for the kids. And their chaperones that come from the Boys and Girls Club. And then we break them up into different teams from all of our partners within the airport. So we have our airlines, we have law enforcement, our fire department, Customs and Border Protection is here this year, as well as TSA. We have vendors such as Candy Cove, Hudson, and then of course HMS Host it also sponsors a team.
I'm here because we're on a field trip to see the airport.
So we're providing an amazing experience for our kids outside of our normal clubhouse routine. They're going to be able to come here and work with the airlines and other vendors within the airport to build amazing paper airplanes, learn about teamwork, collaboration, competition, and celebration. So we're really happy to have our kids out here today.
We have a couple different competitions and introduce them to the fun way of making a paper airplane. Let's see how far it goes. Let's see how accurate they can be by taking that paper airplane and putting it through different size holes. But in it, we're able to introduce what the airport is, what it does for the community, as well as what's all the opportunities we have for them when the time comes.
You know, having been with the organization for 4 years and having been a previous club member of both our lead and our James Clubhouse, it's my privilege to be able to work on behalf of providing kids amazing experiences. To just get them curious about what their opportunities could be for their futures, and then get them the connections that they need in order to get there.
I think giving back to the community is one of the most important things for the agency itself.
Since 2013, which was the first year we held this event, our partners are so generous knowing that these kids are going to be starting the school year soon, they have really had a little competition among themselves with the donations of back to school supplies, and every year they have upped the ante. And we have such generous partners here with our airlines, our concessionaires, our tenants, and our legal law enforcement agencies.
The airport's put this together, and we are more than happy to be a part of it.
They each have either shirts or additional backpacks, travel goods, all sorts of things that get these kids ready for the beginning of school.
Oh, man. That was awesome. What a great final round.
Distance competition, first place, HMS host legend. And now, coveted first place for accuracy competition, Hudson Addison. Table decor, HMS host. Our 2023 champions, Hudson, 60 points.
Southern Nevada is rich in aviation history, and much of that history is on display right here in the airport. Here's Clark County Museum Administrator Amber Colbert to talk about some of that history.
So Clark County Museum's mission is to collect and preserve Southern Nevada history and then present that information in exhibits and education programs. Now, transportation is one of the most important things to the growth and development of Clark County, and aviation's become more and more important. So what better way to preserve that history than an aviation museum? So today we're at the Howard W. Cannon Aviation Museum here at Harry Reid International. Flights really started to become popular in the 1920s. With the end of World War I, there was a surplus of planes and pilots. So these pilots started buying the planes pretty inexpensively, and they go across the nation doing barnstorming shows or stunt or demonstration shows. So on May 7th, 1920, Randall Henderson and his passenger, Jake Beckley, flew into Las Vegas, which was known as Anderson Airfield, and did a demonstration flight. Now this inspired people to learn more about aviation, not just here, but around the world, including children. The heroes of early aviation, like Frank Wright, Amelia Earhart, Charles Lindbergh, really inspired children to learn more about aviation and inspired the development of toys, books, games, just like these model airplanes you see in the case. Even amusement rides used airplanes as part of their inspiration. Pilots really became heroes in the 1920s and 30s. But it didn't stop there. In the 1950s and 60s, it continued with the World Endurance Flight locally here at Las Vegas. So the World Endurance Flight took off on December 4th, 1958. A guy by the name Robert Tem was inspired, just like the children of the 1920s and 30s, by people breaking the world record for the longest continuous flight, and he wanted to do it himself. But he didn't quite have the funding to do it. But he knew somebody that did. He currently worked as a slot manager at the Hacienda Hotel, and he knew the CEO, Doc Bailey, was really good at listening to employees. So he proposed to Doc Bailey that he could sponsor his attempt to break the world record, put the name on the airplane, and when he broke that world record, he'd get all the notoriety. And eventually on December 4th, 1958, John Cook and Robert Tem took off, and they did not land until February 7th, 1959, shattering the current record and still holding it today. Here on display, we have the plane, the actual plane that Robert and John flew in. And it's above baggage claim. So as you're grabbing your bags, look up and you'll see the record-breaking plane located right here in Harry Reid.
Thanks for joining us on this trip through our airports. Now you're ready to pack your bags and take off. Remember to follow us on social media for travel tips and information, and use the resources of our website, harryreidairport.com. We'll see you next time on Flight Path.